Hey, welcome to the Meta Effect. This beautiful face right here is Jimmy D,
Wrong
and
way,
we're
buddy.
is it? And we're joined by Inch from OnePlanet, who recently partnered with Polygon to help bring Terra NFTs to Polygon. What's up, Inch?
Hello, Sean. Nice to meet you, Jimmy. How are you guys?
I'm good. I'm excited. We've only met just now. I know you've talked to Sean before, but like I first heard about you from our friends over at Cipher Wars, Cipher Dub, and he just told us that you were one of the most pleasurable people or teams to work with in the whole entire space. I mean, he just said that you guys were awesome. So I'm excited to hear all about how much more awesome you're going to be now that you're doing some really awesome stuff.
Maybe give us a little background of what brought you to Terra, and then how you ended up on partnering with Polygon, because you guys were, we knew Polygon had sort of made a push to grab um, some of the lost momentum in the Terra space and migrated over. But you guys set up the Arc One thing, like it happened so fast. So I guess I just want to hear, what brought you to Terra, and then how you made that shift over to Polygon with Polygon Studios.
Okay, so first of all, thank you for having me today. So it is really an honor to be on this show, and Sean is disappearing.
Yeah,
I
I'm
don't know.
not really sure what's going on with that
I
purple
know.
wiener there, Sean.
Okay, so it's only Jimmy and me. So let's continue, right? Sean's
Sure.
gonna Sean's gonna come back. So yeah, I'm from OnePlanet, which is the team who runs a NFT marketplace and launchpad on Terra. So we started our business on January. So yeah, compared to other marketplaces, it was relatively late. But we were the fastest growing market with the curation of quality projects, and also we really did build good relationships with the projects. So actually, we've been concentrating on building the communities, and also we are a marketplace who is really interested in the utilities of NFTs. So actually, we've been listening to the needs in common among the builders and also from the community. So we've been developing some smart contracts, functions, and tools that the projects can build on top of it, and also the builders can choose if they want to be a part of it. So yeah, actually, we want to be called building a NFT ecosystem rather than just building another NFT marketplace. And we want to discuss the future of NFTs with the whole community. So the community really matters, and that's been working really, really well. I don't really want to mention the names of the competitors that we had on Terra, but we've been growing really fast. And just before the crash, with the trading volume, a few weeks prior to that, and been recent times, we've been definitely the top marketplace on Terra. And the crash, it hurts my heart again, but the Terra crash happened. So we've been evaluating, all the possibilities and all the options that we have, and we wanted to figure out which ecosystem will be the greatest place for us to build the future of NFTs. Again, with the community, and we chose Polygon. So actually, we did talk to many promising chains foundations, and we wanted to figure out who is really interested in the future of NFTs and bridging this technology to become at the center of Web3 spaces, like representing the assets that can be owned by people. So
Yeah,
Polygon,
I mean it's pretty hard what happened, I think, to the Terra ecosystem. Some projects decided to stay, some decided to move, and like I think Polygon is a really interesting choice, and I think it's a really good choice, to be honest, right? Like, I mean, it's going to be really interesting to see what you guys can do over there, because I think like one of the reasons that I found out about you was because of the fact that you guys created something new that had never been done on Terra before. You guys were the ones that orchestrated essentially the ability to do the first pack drop ever, which had never been done before, right? And so that's quite interesting. Now you're going to be moving over to Polygon, and it's a whole new blockchain with a whole new ecosystem. I'm curious, what are the challenges that you guys are going to face coming from Terra? Are there any, or is it actually going to be easier than developing on Terra? What do you think?
So just to talk about the development, and especially with the smart contract part, actually it's better than on Terra, because the biggest problem that we had on Terra NFT since was that there was no standard smart contracts, and there was no even standard formats of CW721 smart contracts and also CW1155. So actually, the marketplaces have been handling the mints for NFT collections, and the smart contract they have been using wasn't compatible with each other. So actually, all of the builders had to rebuild the exact same thing at the same time, so they can actually build the future steps on top of that. So that was the huge problem. But to talk about Polygon, it is EVM chain, and it is the largest layer 2 of Ethereum. So actually the standards around EVM sense is really, really well built, and it is really in terms of scalability and interoperability, it will allow us to do many things that was restricted on Terra.
So actually, essentially, you'll be able to probably move a lot quicker than you were having to develop everything yourself, which is pretty exciting.
Yeah, actually, that is the exciting part. And to talk about our devs, actually, I'm really happy that they are both competent with Solidity and Rust. But they are now excited that the environment is a lot better. And when they were developing on Terra, it was really hard to communicate with the builders that are around the scene to have some consensus around certain kind of feature. But it is already made there, and if we can provide a new unique feature or something, we can just share it, and people will just come and see it, and they will build on top of it. And I think that is how we should evolve. And when we talk about the Web3 spaces, it is not only the competition between the builders in the scene, but actually we are competing with those Web2 giants and the traditional businesses out there. So we are not just competing them, but we of course we want to bring them to Web3, and we want to bridge them. And I think NFT is the best format of the Web3 asset that can do that. But actually sharing the knowledge and building on top of what other people's did, what other people's build, is actually a great thing. So to talk about the environment that about development, especially with technical things, I think it is a actually a great environment, and maybe I can say it is better. But Terra, on Terra, we had unique culture, and people were so friendly. So yeah, we also did share a lot of things, but especially talking about NFTs, since it was something really hard. And I also think as Sean, it must have been kind of pain in the ass.
I mean, we got stuck in the mud like not long after launch. We launched the Crunks. We had all these ideas. And then it's like, Random Earth is holding our contract hostage. They can't upgrade the CW721. And it was just like, it was just difficult, lack of documentation, all these things. And I know on Polygon, it's going to be like night and day difference. On Terra, when I was looking at marketplaces, either it seemed like most of them either had like decent UI, but the ones that had decent UI didn't seem to be built to scale. Like they didn't have self-minting. They were these curated marketplaces, launch pads, but then I don't know. I was waiting for things to open up so that anyone could come in and mint their NFTs. And then the marketplaces that had that, the user experience was so bad that it just wasn't usable. how is OnePlanet gonna look any different on Polygon? Is there, because I'm sure it opens the door. You're able to launch different features easier. Do you envision it looking any different on Polygon than it looked on Terra?
So yeah, if we can start with the part of self-minting, actually we were preparing it. We were preparing it not only kind of individual minter that allows you to mint single NFTs at a time, but we were also prepared with smart contract that will allow you to mint 10K NFTs within a few clicks. You just have to submit your parts of art and the properties, and it will mix up, and you can set up the proportions of the the property to show when the random mixer that generates the outcome of the arts. Yeah, that was actually ready, and we were excited to showcase it, and we got deprived of the chance. So yeah, actually we want to continue what we have been doing. So as a platform, not only just a marketplace, we think if we want to bring additional value to NFT Sense, what we have to do is not just curating the collections, which is quality projects, but also we have to concentrate on bringing certain tools or certain places where people can be connected, and they can just use certain features that we provide, and it that can help them add some values on it. So yeah, the random mixer is a part of it, and the pack drop was part of it, and also the assemble and disassembling, which was the first feature that we showcased with our Forge, which is utility add-on tool on OnePlanet. Yeah, those are part of it. So we want to we want to catch, we want to figure out what we should provide to the sins if we can devote to the sin. So we want to help projects to not really waste their time building something that platform can provide, but they they bring creativity to the with their collection, and they spend their time to figure out something unique, only that is something that can only be applied to their collection. So that will save a lot of people's time, and it will also allow the community members, the individual holders, to think about the next steps of the collection. So many people are complaining that NFTs is just about JPEGs being traded with hundreds of thousands of dollars, but it is not true actually. Everything on blockchain, everything that represents something unique can be an NFT if we want to make it into NFT, and that can bring a lot of possibilities to the scene. So yeah, the JPEG was a great start point, because when we talk about art, every art is unique. People can see that. People can directly have the knowledge that there is difference between those two assets. But when we are talking about codes or something, certain kind of accessibility to certain asset, or maybe just to a club around your neighborhood, we can make everything into NFTs. So actually, there are a lot of things that we can discuss, and we want to do it with the builders and the community. So we want to listen to their opinion, because this technology will allow us to do a lot of things that we couldn't even imagine before we had this technology, but it's still in its infancy. And us, OnePlanet, is a team of people who are really into it, and we discuss about the future and usability, the utilities of NFTs every day. But we can't just solely do it. We will need some network effect, and also this collective intelligence to build this whole sense around the technology, and evolve every day. So yeah, we want to build a relationship. We want to be the place where we can where connects people, and let them talk about the future of this NFTs and what kind of value we bring to it. Yeah, that is what we want to do, and we want to bring the infrastructures. We want to concentrate on building the infrastructures they will need. So yeah, with the infrastructures, we can build unique. You will be able to build unique utilities and unique value of NFTs. In near
So,
future.
so talking about, sort of growing the network effects, right? And it seems like the plan is to round up as many of these Terra NFT projects as you can and help migrate them over. Like you said, Polygon has always had NFTs, but they lack some of that culture, whereas Terra, that's what we had on Terra. So I mean, I guess just lay it out. What's the process if you're a project owner on Terra and you're sort of lost and don't know where you want to go, and you're looking at Solana and you're looking at Polygon. What is OnePlanet? This Arc One revival plan that you guys put together? How does it work? What's the process to get projects over?
So to talk about Arc One program, it is about providing all kinds of help that will be needed to provide the whole, not only to the builders but also for the community to get back on their feet on Polygon. So we are going to provide the supports in three aspects. First of all, the technical migration of the collection, and second, there will be some monetary support, which also will, there is a grant program for the builders of the projects, and there will be also some incentives for individual holders to explore new ecosystem. And also, when they migrate their NFTs, when they complete the migration process and they actually migrate their own asset to Polygon, they will also get incentivized because they would need a little Matic token to explore Polygon. And
Right.
also there will be, marketing support. So when we talk about this process, I can just call it marketing, but it is not really about that, but it is about, community rebuilding. So the important thing was that, we got all wrecked and the community got scattered. The community got scattered, and, the unique value that we had on Terra, especially with Terra NFT Sense, was built on the unique community culture. And I think, just like you pointed out, Polygon Foundation and Polygon Studios, I think they also agreed on that. We can bring this additional value to Polygon Sins, and Polygon will become more, NFT prosper chain, because when we talk about, just trading volumes, it is already a lot huge than, Terra. It's actually, the trading volume is almost 2.5 to 1 to Terra, but it is, usually only used for the scalability of huge projects, like, when we talk about Decentraland, the Sandbox, they are migrating their Lens NFTs to Polygon, because if they just let them stay on Ethereum, the functions that can be done with, on-chain interaction will be really, really limited. So they want to migrate to Polygon. But, other than that, of course, there are a lot of gaming projects and a lot of, metaverse projects, because, the nature of the chain is concentrated on the, scalability, just like I said. But, there is no hub for the community to get united and to talk about the future, and maybe also builders, collaborate with each other, and, generating the network effects on it. It was, kind of the pain point that we captured with Polygon. And I think that was the reason they wanted OnePlanet to become dedicated marketplace for Polygon NFTs, and, help them generating this kind of unique culture on Polygon NFT Sense. So yeah, to get back to the, the supports and the migration process. So we already started building the smart contracts on Polygon. So those smart contracts will allow each holders of the NFTs, the NFT projects who, apply to the, Arc One migration process. Those holders will be able to migrate their own NFTs. So they won't receive just random NFTs from the same exact project, but they will be able to migrate their own NFT with, not losing their whole, ownership or authority on it, not at a single time. So there will be two smart contracts on Polygon. First one will be called, Migrator. So we will encrypt this private key of the Terra wallet. So we will allow them to connect, two wallets at the same time. So one will be obviously Terra wallet, and the other one will be, Polygon wallet, probably, MetaMask. I think many people will use MetaMask. So using Terra wallet, they will be able to generate encrypted message of their private key, and also the informations of the NFTs they are owning. So they generate those message through the Terra wallet and use the Polygon wallet to send the message to smart contracts. And the smart contract will verify the ownership using the marker proof. So it will just be able to, identify that it is true that the one who sent the message is the owner of Terra wallet, who, which the private key is used, and also it owns the NFT, the NFT, which is sent with the information. So the metadata will be sent, and this wallet also owns this, this NFT with the wallet. So if it verifies it, it will send a mint message to ERC-721 contract on Polygon, and it will remint the NFT and send it to the holder who rightfully owns it. So that is
what in this process then, what happens to the NFTs that are on the Terra Classic blockchain? Do they still remain, or are they destroyed?
They get locked in a contract.
Actually, this is the pain point that we have, because what the collections who minted their NFTs through our help, we can actually burn them, because with their smart contract, with the collection smart contract, when we did help minting it, the burning function was already integrated within the smart contract. But there are not a few, but actually many collections who doesn't really have the burn function, just like the Krunks. So there are many collections who don't really have the function, and it won't be really possible for us to execute a migration of contract on Terra Classic, because we don't really know the source code of the smart contract they used when we mint it. So yeah, we're thinking of two ways. The first one will be actually burning it, if it is possible, and the alternative we are preparing is building a smart contract that will lock up the NFT forever, and we just send it there and we lock it forever, so there won't be any duplicates. But I think I'll also have to explain about it that there are some cases. Actually, we are helping out the collections to choose on which timing they want to migrate based on which timing they want to migrate their collections. So we are giving two options. First one is the past block height before the DPEG, because there are some of the collections who really truly believes that the community they had before the DPEG was the real community, and many holders lost their NFTs just because of the crash, because they listed their NFTs on the marketplaces with absurd price because they just wanted to show it off, not really wanted to sell it, but accidentally the Luna price just crashed and it accidentally sold. And there are those collections who truly wants to use the past timing snapshot, and we're also providing the snapshot, and we can also so with the cases using the previous block snapshot, there may be some cases the current owner and the past owner isn't really same. So about the case, we can actually send or burn the NFTs on Terra Classic. So yeah, we're discussing it with the collections, but
I like that though,
ways
because
to...
you're giving the collection the choice to choose, right? So like they can go to their collectors or their members and they can say, look, what do you guys want to do? And then they can weigh in on it. And if they want to have it, pre-crash, or if they want to have it post-crash, it's kind of up to them. And each one gets to choose kind of their own path, right? So it's not really one planet; it's kind of two planets. I like it. It's good.
If they choose a snapshot date, a pre-DPEG, then are you basically minting the collection on Polygon, and when they because like you said, they're not, some of them might not be holding the pre-depeg NFTs. So is it I'm trying to
Well, I
picture
think
the
it'll be the
process.
same as it'll be the same as a snapshot. When you take a snapshot, then everything from that snapshot, from what you were saying, Inch, it will all like go into automatic.
But on the Terra side, they wouldn't be. It doesn't do any good to send a NFT to a contract that you got after the depeg if it's a pre-depeg snapshot. So it's almost like it seems like they have to, link their Terra account with the Polygon account. You guys have to mint the pre-snapshot on that end and then airdrop it to those accounts.
Yeah, so to talk about the process, the basic process would be the same. So we want it to be handled as decentralized as possible. So the smart contract is the basic way, and the smart contract will prove the ownership by Merkle proof. But with the case that we used the previous snapshot, those ones who previously owned the NFT but currently doesn't, it will fail to verify. So if it fails, it will have to check the snapshot that we took. So so when we when we find it that the owner who sent the message previously owned the NFT at the timing, actually we will mint the same NFT with the new smart contract on Polygon, and we'll send it to the user because it is the choice made by the collection. And we keep telling those builders, the core team members of the projects, to please communicate it with your community. So let community decide.
No, I love this because basically it's a smart idea. And when people come to you and complain, it's like, why I didn't get my NFT? It's like, well, choose the collection. They're the ones that decided. They should have been with us first, and then we would have had it all worked out. But they were with some other random marketplace, and now you got to deal with them before you can deal with us. It's great. It's the perfect.
At the first time, we thought that we might be able to find a consensus about the timing, on which timing we should, migrate those, NFT collections from Terra. But, it was impossible. It was, technically impossible. And what we could do was to provide both options. We will provide the both options. Maybe it will increase some workload for us. We can do it. But you should really decide it based on the community's decision. Actually, we're not avoiding the, responsibility.
No, I love it.
Listen to this though. Listen to this. So just yesterday, because we had been looking, when we were looking at Solana, other places, we were basically just going to have to build the same thing to migrate things over. And we had always told our community, hey, it's when we migrate, it's what you're holding at the time of the migration. It's not any pre-snapshot. Well, when we sort of semi-announced we were going to be heading over to Polygon with you guys, people in the community started reading one of the blog posts, and I don't think you had both options stated. You only had the, like you were talking about, trying to reach consensus on a pre-depeg block. So they immediately came in the chat and were posting screenshots of it, where I had gone through the ARC1 form, and it's like an option. You choose the option before or after, up to the current time. So I assured him that things would be fine. But it's funny how people, it's tough to reach consensus on anything in crypto.
Yeah, it's not only about the crypto, but when we are talking about human, it is always really hard to find a consensus. So we want to provide both options and let the community decide. And we are also discussing how we can compensate those users who are left out. So that is what we are currently discussing with with the projects who are on board to ARC1. So maybe we are irrelevant to those users because the community decided, just like Jimmy pointed out. but we want to provide a way for them to take good care about the community members who are left out. They're kind of casualty of this the situation. They didn't do anything bad. Someone is calling them as a cherry picker or chance chaser, just based on they concentrated on buying NFTs from the marketplace on the marketplaces while the crash was happening. They were just maybe doing what was best for them, and maybe they really wanted to buy those NFTs and they just had a chance. That isn't something bad. So yeah, for the projects who are using the current status, it won't really happen. But if the project wants to use the past snapshot, and if they want to compensate the current holders, we are trying hard to how we can help providing the information about those users, and also if they can compensate with new mints on Polygon or something, we can also provide this technical supports so they can mint some new assets for those holders. And if they send their NFTs to the locking contract or the burning contract, maybe we can mint new assets on Polygon and send that to the users who bought after the pack.
You can cover all your bases, and there are still going to be a small handful of people that are going to find a problem with whatever you do. You can go above and beyond, and there's always going to be a few.
Yeah, actually, it is myself, because we are running marketplaces, and it was always important for us to there are a lot of NFTs listed on our marketplace. So actually, I had a lot of Terra NFTs, and I did list most of my NFTs on OnePlanet. And the crash happened, and we were concentrating on maintaining our platform. So I totally forgot about it, and when I checked it, it was all sold. It was all sold.
I think
usually this is the point in the episode where I usually tell people how great MetaCollect is. But today, Sean, have you heard about OnePlanet? These guys are killer. They're awesome. They're giving people options. They're doing amazing things. Do you know what's going on with these guys? It's absolutely brilliant, blinding, amazing.
I was just thinking how I am possibly the worst manager of NFTs of all time. Luckily, I don't really list anything.
I mean,
I would be the last guy.
I would be Penny, so you're okay.
I would have every one. If I had listed my NFTs, every single one of them would have been scooped up. I would have been wiped out, because I'm not the person that thinks oh, I'm always amazed at how fast the market reacts to thing, and how the majority of people are tapped in, these degenerates, these NFT degenerates. They're so tapped in that the second things change, they're relisting things. I am not that person.
So luckily, the Krunks wasn't listed on OnePlanet on our secondary, so I could secure my Krunks.
Krunks ain't going anywhere.
I still own it, and I can migrate it to Polygon. Yeah. I'm really glad about
it. You've still got your Krunk.
Yeah, I still got my Krunk.
Yeah, I mean, this is exciting. So right now you're kind of in phase one, according to I think 5 phases that you guys have on the website. What's the timeline on this? So when do you guys expect to have fully functional NFTs be porting from the Terra Classic blockchain over to Polygon?
So to be honest, it will be around end of July for us to open up the secondary market, and also the migration process that is open for the holders. So yeah, it will be about 2 months away from now. So we want to concentrate on maintaining our community, and also let our community to experience the new ecosystem, Polygon. And also we want to introduce the collections, the projects migrating with us from Terra to Polygon native community. So we want to build bridges between the projects, between the community. So we will host a lot of campaigns and marketing activities that will engage in the community members. So yeah, we want to explain about what the Krunk is about, and what MetaCollect is doing. And we also want to provide some information about, Polygon dApps and Polygon guilds and Polygon NFT projects, so they can also find some additional values there. And we can also align, collaborative events, among those projects. And the important part is that we are going to, provide some incentives for, community members to engage in these events. So, we are deprived, we got wrecked, and maybe they don't have any kind of, power left to start exploring a new blockchain, but we'll just help them do it, follow what we are doing with, the great NFT projects that you've been holder of. And, you will get to learn about Polygon, and you will get to learn about the Polygon NFT ecosystem. And also, the Polygon NFT community will come in and get to learn about projects coming from Terra and also about OnePlanet. So through those activities, we want to maintain the community and make it even better than before. So we want to merge NFT communities, and we want to create unique culture on Polygon once again.
Well,
So
I mean,
not just-
if you need us, we're here. The Meta Effect is here for you. Like, we're more than happy to.
It's right here.
Show
He's
you out.
right here. So Inch, this is Adam, aka the General.
You just doxed me right when I walk out.
Yeah, he hosts a weekly a podcast for us called The Shift, where he mostly interviews NFT projects.
People like you.
Yeah, and other, so he can definitely help out in educating, community building. When Adam first got into crypto, he knew nothing.
I was like Finney.
He knew nothing. Yeah, and
everybody was.
We sort of brought him into the wax space, and he's launching his own projects, doing all this stuff. So, Adam, do you have any interest in exploring Polygon on your journey?
I think, and I was listening a little bit before I hopped in here, and the Polygon journey that it looks like MetaCollect is on seems like one that would align with what we're doing on the projects that we've kind of been tinkering with that Sean's talking about, goo balls. So
shameless plug.
yeah, but I'm very interested in OnePlanet. Seems to be onto something that, Sean and Kenny wouldn't just really have anyone on this show. I know that. So I'm kind of in that same phase that Sean just referenced, like completely learning right now, but it sounds good. So yeah, we'll have to probably circle back and
I think it's interesting that you said that, because like earlier, right, Inch, you said that like the first stage is to basically bring all of the projects that apply that are good projects that want to move over to Polygon. And I had actually wanted to ask this question before, but you had so much information that I didn't get to. But is there a second phase after all of this goes that you guys are thinking, right? Like, because you're going to take part of the community with you, right? You're going to launch part of the community, but there's like people like Adam, who are launching their own projects.
Just doxing the hell out of me.
That might want to plug into this like community atmosphere, right? Because like you mentioned, one of the greatest things about Terra was that community atmosphere, was that camaraderie in that building. I mean, is there a phase two? Maybe you guys haven't got there yet, but is there a phase two slated to bring back that community atmosphere and bring in other projects, maybe from other chains or over from Ethereum and stuff like that? Like, just before you answer, you're on Polygon, and the majority of exchanges that are on Polygon, the majority of marketplaces that are on Polygon, have ported over from Ethereum, or have added some little tab at the top to Ethereum. You guys are branching over from a new place, doing completely new things, which I think is going to open up a really interesting avenue of competition for you guys to be coming at this from a completely different angle. Sorry, I've talked too much, but go ahead.
Thank you. And Adam, to work with OnePlanet, actually been lately while we were operating on Terra, we did dox everybody, so don't worry about the doxing part.
I mean,
really nice to meet you.
When you're on camera like this, it's like, you kind of have to expect to get doxed. If anything, that's actually the beauty of projects and people like you. Is your name Ank? Inch, yeah. Sean, a reason why this project, MetaCollect, everything, it's like I just see so many creators that are like afraid to put their face out there. And when
Yeah,
you
so they
have a
can
media
can
platform,
dip when the shit hits the fan.
right? It's such an advantage to just have the confidence to like get on here and talk. And I always applaud anyone that's a creator or someone, you know, like you, Anch. So, and then if you, yeah, the other secret here, and Sean and I were talking about this yesterday, is when you have that media platform, it's one way to like clearly stand out and just, again, continue to give yourself an edge as a creator, as a project, whatever it may be. So I think I'm pretty much just restating everything that was already stated, but it's good stuff.
Yeah, great. Yeah, it's great. And let me answer Jimmy's question. So the next phase would definitely be launching the new collections. And to talk about us first, it will take about a month, additional month for us to be prepared for the launch pads. So it will be about around end of August. And I think there will be two kinds of launch pads. So I think the Terra NFTs who migrated from Terra to Polygon, they would have lost a portion, maybe a huge portion of their community, and they would really like to, gather some more from Polygon ecosystem. And there would be people who want to be a part of it because for a while we prepare the migration, we will show them how good these projects are, and the brilliant talents are behind it, and the community members they had was so amazing. So it was really great to become a part of this community. So that's what we will keep doing. So there will be a bunch of people who want to be a new member of it. And I think, just reminting those NFTs that wasn't migrated from Terra isn't ethical. So yeah, we really want to provide a chance for the projects to, create some new assets that can be a part of the projects, and they can also, launch some additional, batch of the collection. I think that will be a great start point. And we also want to create a unique NFT sense, and that only can be possible if we can draw some attentions from the other ecosystem and also existing the members of Polygon. And we want to show something different with the projects with quality. So you mentioned the Cypher Wars before, the Beat-Ups project. Actually, I think Beat-Ups project can be a great example. So that was also unique project when we compare to the project project existed on Terra. But when we compare it to Polygon NFT projects, it will still be unique. It will still be unique, and he is trying to bring some extra values of NFTs and the way for people to enjoy becoming a part of NFT community. So launching those kind of new projects who were supposed to launch on Terra before the crash, and maybe also the projects who weren't really interested in Terra, but looking for a great chain and great platform to launch their projects in, the place where great people are around. I think we can bring those projects and start launching them. And
I think you have two great examples, right? Like Cypher Wars, their launch being ported over directly to Polygon is pretty great. But like also MetaCollect, this is that time, Sean. MetaCollect, like one of the first things that they're planning on doing when they get over there is the crunked out cars, right? So like that's pretty cool. Like you guys are going to be releasing your own new NFTs over there on
gamified car burn,
right?
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool. And I think these are what people need to do, not just take their NFTs from Terra over there, but like that the projects need to take their NFTs from Terra over to Polygon and figure out a new use case, right?
Well,
continue to build their community alongside all of the value that you guys are providing.
So B-Dub, when he first told me about Cypher Wars and we were talking, and he puts a lot of his own personal energy and touches on that whole project. Like you look at it and you look at some of the art and you just know there's a lot of energy that goes into it. But when he first told me, I said, what marketplace are you launching on? And he basically said that he talked to different marketplaces about wanting to do something different, more of a pack drop like you'd find on Wax. But OnePlanet was really the only marketplace that was willing to take that risk and help him out with that. And to me, that's that's pretty meaningful. Like we always value, where Meta Collect, we're always trying to do something different and take a risk regardless of if it goes well or not. And there's something to that about projects and teams that aren't just going to play it safe all the time, that are going to want to innovate and try to grow something different. So, shout out or props to you guys for being willing to take those kind of risks. I respect that. Obviously, I think that's why you're in this position now, where you're sort of the shepherds, helping the Terra projects out and migrating over to Polygon and trying to build a new culture, which isn't easy to do. We're definitely excited to be a part of it. It took us because, people in the community come over to Solana, come over to Cosmos. And, I think hasty decisions can oftentimes be wrong decisions. So we sort of took our time and we talked to everyone, but I definitely feel, good about this move and what you guys are doing. So props to you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for your kind words. And yeah, I think, the Cypher Wars is a really great explanation about what OnePlanet is about. So he wanted the pack drops, and he also wanted some, dynamic metadata. And that wasn't something existed on Terra. And compared to other, blockchains, NFT sense, it is something essential. So it is needed. We could see that it is needed. And, he was the brave one. He and his team was the brave ones who wanted to do that on Terra. It wasn't actually something that was, tested, to be successful. It wasn't proven. And he wanted to do it. He wanted this experiment on Terra, and he was, really passionate about it. So yeah, actually there were a list of the things, the functions, especially to talk about the smart contracts. There were a list that we have, but every time we wanted to show something, we had to find someone to showcase it with us, because making an impact is always a important thing. So think about the future. I think about the future that we might have launched Cypher Wars on Terra, and Terra didn't crash. So people will get interested about the pack drops and also the dynamic metadatas, and it will allow people on Terra to think about a lot more possibilities than they could do. So yeah, they will always think about changing the metadatas after playing the games, and also maybe the pack drops that will allow people to generate more buzz around the mint, and also it will allow the chance of people to be it is more fun than the actual just single random mints. Yeah, so
A single
yeah.
I always people would always with Terra, it was like, what's the identity? Is it just PFP projects? Is it going to be art? I always felt it could be like the utility knife and have be good at a lot of different things. And never got there. but maybe that's Polygon, right? You need the PFP projects because people identify with those PFPs, and that helps unify communities and sort of grow culture.
So true.
But what's interesting on Wax, where there hardly is any PFP projects, you have these communities of collectors that can you still hear me?
We can still hear you.
Yeah, why am I a goo ball? Why am I a goo ball? I don't know what keeps happening. Anyways, on Wax, I'm just gonna I'd rather be a black screen than a goo ball. Sorry, Adam. Maybe I'd rather be the goo ball. I don't know. I'd have to think about it.
He is frozen,
huh?
Right? Yeah.
This is the second time it's happened.
Well, not a black screen, but a yellow screen. That's working blindly.
On Wax, though, you have these communities in their communities of collectors that that have formed around the pack drops. maybe Polygon, because it is, cheap transactions. It does seem to scale. It's got all the tooling that one could wish for. Maybe Polygon can become that sort of utility knife that's good at a lot of things in the NFT space, where Terra, I think, was heading, but ultimately took a shit.
Yeah, on Terra, we were heading there, and as a platform, I keep saying this, as a platform. So as a platform, we have to provide, the environment where the creatives can do what they want to do. So yeah, to talk about the launch pads, actually, we were the only platform had 4 types of launch pads on Terra. So one was called Random Box, which is Candy Machine type of random mint, and what was English auction, and we also had Dutch auction, and we also had pre-assigned mints, which we did showcase it with Prism's Luna, the Prism protocols, Prism NFTs and refracted Prism NFTs, and we also let them trade with Luna. So actually, I think it is something that's supporting the own economy of the projects. It wasn't really it can't be applied not only to the DeFi projects, but also to NFT projects who want to mint their own native tokens. So those native tokens is a thing that represent there is their own economy, and within their environment, people will buy and sell their NFTs, their assets within that ecosystem with their own native tokens. And they just don't really want them to trade it at third-party marketplaces, because it doesn't really help out the projects to prosper. It will really help them if they can trade with native tokens, and it generates some deflationary among their tokenomics. It will help the projects grow, but actually the big marketplaces doesn't really allow them to trade with their tokens, doesn't support that. So actually, we wanted to solve that problem, and not only that, but to get back to the pre-assigned mints. There are some cases, you do something prior to mint. So if you want something, or you did mark something with the events, you will get certain NFTs from the launchpad. That is also something. But there was the only way you could do it was like you just preserve it from the amount that will be on launchpad, and you just airdrop them after the mint. But with the pre-assigned mint, you could also if there's someone who is registered gets into the launchpad and try to mint, he will get the one which is customized and designed for the holder. So that was something that could allow a lot more dynamics with the things that the projects can do with their mints. And also after the mint, the dynamics and the economics that they designed there won't be any harm to it using the marketplace. That is what platform providers should do. And that is why we are calling ourselves not the marketplace, but we are building NFT ecosystem. So we should get along with those projects. We should try hard to become a part of their own ecosystem, not the one just invading them and doing harm to their projects. So yeah, I think that is what differentiates us from other marketplaces.
You guys have a pretty.
Sorry, go ahead, Adam.
Just say you have a pretty rigorous application process too. That's what I was doing this whole time, was filling out the OnePlanet application. So you'll see goo balls in there now, Inch. I don't know if that's you, but
yeah, I will see it. Thank you.
And I have to bounce in 1 minute, so I guess I just want to say that Sean and Kenny. As I say, Sean is definitely the person.
Not Jimmy though. Not Jimmy.
Yeah,
I just called Jimmy Kenny. That's fine.
Jesus. If I don't.
Kenny has red hair.
Show his face, right?
No, Kenny's like a blonde Aussie. You know what? With the launch of this first NFT gallery in all of Australia, I think that Kenny needs to start rocking the mullet. I don't know if we
Yeah.
can get that going. He
It'd
had
be a
long
really good
hair at
gimmick.
one point. He looked like a girl. Then he had short hair. He looked like a guy. I think he needs to start rocking the mullet and look like the true Aussie that he is.
I kind of wish it was October, because if it was October or November, depending upon which country you're in, we could get Kenny to rock the mullet, show up on one of our shows as a crunk. I mean, we could have a whole contest to see like which crunk he could become. I mean, it would be great. I think that Kenny, if you're watching, like, get your shit together.
Well, maybe to celebrate the migration, everyone has to come to a themed event is a crunk.
Is Jimmy drinking water or soju though? That's
I'm totally
obviously
soju. It's totally water.
I say sake. I know some Japanese and it was written sake.
Right. Totally water.
Gotta take Inch's recommendation.
Yeah.
All right, boys. Thanks for letting me crash the party.
Thanks for stopping by.
Yeah, thanks for coming by.
Great.
I'm sure I'll crash another one of your parties soon.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
Well,
you will.
I'm really excited for when Inch crashes your party over on the show.
That would be wild. That would be an honor.
I'll be honored to be there. Please let me be there. You know, it would be really fun. Okay. I guess.
I'll follow up with you. Thank you, Sean. Thank you, Kenny. Peace out, y'all.
Thank you. See you.
And Jimmy, don't forget Jimmy.
I just called you Kenny twice.
3 times this show. But who's counting?
Who's not drinking water?
Just get him out of here. Get him out of here. You never.
Yeah,
know.
I think just he should fix his nickname because generals always don't remember the names of the privates. You know, that was the problem that I had go through when I was in the military. So yeah.
I guess I want to ask one more question. What's the biggest challenge for you guys in this whole friggin' migration, moving to Polygon? What's the biggest challenge?
Is it
what keeps you up at night?
That are filling out applications that aren't filled out properly? Is that
No, actually, you know, the biggest challenge we have is that, you know, we have to maintain this community and we even want to make it better than before. But, you know, the problem is that, you know, most of the people got lost of their interest. And, you know, not most, but, you know, there are many people. There are, you know, really many great peoples on Terra who is still encouraging the other people and also helping out, you know, those who needs help. But, you know, we also want to become the one who can give courage and hope to everyone. And, you know, we weren't that, you know, great people, and we weren't really that, you know, talented guys who can bring the hopes and, you know, the courages to, you know, all the builders or all the community members on Terra. But when we come to NFT sense, I think if we can just stay up all night and, you know, do what we are capable of, maybe we can bring some, you know, hope and courage. So we can make it again. You know, the people who were on Terra was the biggest asset we had. And, you know, if we can just, you know, if we don't just lose our hope and, you know, we get things tight, we can make it again. And we are going to do our best to provide the environment for you to do it again. So yeah, that is the biggest challenge that I have. And, you know, I really wish what OnePlanet is doing right now can show people that what we have been doing is, you know, something also, you know, the someone from, you know, other chains also value. And they are really keen to bring us to their chains. And, you know, and the community members made it possible. So not only the builders, but also the community members. Do not lose the hope. You can redo and rebuild what you had. So
yeah,
we want to bring hope.
Like OnePlanet is there to provide the opportunity to do it again, to provide the opportunity to bring that community again, to bring that power, to bring that energy, and to incorporate it with new people. You know, keep the legacy of those projects going.
No, I hope that people who are watching this or see this, you know, that OG Terra community, people, project owners, you know, we did our due diligence and we looked at all the different chains. with Polygon, with OnePlanet, there is a actual plan, like a clear path. And if people get on board, right, and they migrate over with OnePlanet to Polygon, we can recreate, you know, some of what we had. It's going to be different, right? It's never going to be the same. You know, it's for a lot of people, you know, Terra was like their first love. A lot of the people in the community, they had just gotten to crypto a year ago, and like that was their first love. Well, you know, that it's over. Like, I don't think it's ever going to be the same there. It's not going to be the same on Polygon, but you know, maybe there's enough of a foundation, enough of the sameness, that the community can start rallying again and grow it into something bigger. So, yeah, definitely a challenge, but you know, we'll get behind you on this one, and we'll even get Jimmy D involved. We'll get Jimmy D out there with a sign on the street corner. Go to Polygon. Go to Polygon.
I mean, what you don't know about me is I'm here with Sean today as part of the MetaCollect. This is our, you know, our show where we try to be serious. It's not the edge. But I also, you know,
he has a great project of his own.
Right. I also work with a partner of mine with our own channel, and like basically we built metaverses, or we're building metaverses, right? And so, like, you know, any help that you guys need, I see some of my favorite projects in the space, I see the same thing coming from you guys. So like whatever Sean and I can do here on this show, like I'm sure Sean's in the same boat, you know, with MetaCollect. You know, Adam's obviously in here. He's excited about it. We don't see him in here that excited all the time. You know, whatever we can do over on our channel, like just plug us in, right? Because like I just love the vibe and the community spirit that you have going. It seems to resonate so much with, you know, everything that we're doing, everything that MetaCollect is doing. And I think that the world of blockchain and crypto and NFTs needs more than that, right? Less hype, more utility is great, but utility without community to drive that utility, to comment on that utility, to, you know, drive new innovations into it. I mean, how many times has Sean and Kenny looked at their project line and said, okay, we got to change this up because it's not working, and they do that through community insight. And I can see you guys being connected, being plugged into all of these projects over on Polygon, old and new people coming in and looking at it, and you guys really defining a genre of how NFTs are supposed to work, right? Like that insight of porting chains and moving over. I'm really excited to see what you guys are going to do. So yeah,
deep.
like
that was deep. I like
really
it.
Appreciate it.
Any final words for us, Inch?
So
for
actually,
the people.
there are many community members still don't know about this Art1 support, I guess. So we are still receiving the application form until 15th of June. So we got only 5 days left. We really wish we could open it more than that, but you know, to port to projects to Polygon, actually we need some time to concentrate on, you know, technical things. So yeah, that is the deadline. Please, I think if you're a builder, whether you're a builder or a holder, please let the people around you know about it. We really want to provide every support we can to the projects and to the people who still have hope. So please do not hesitate. If you have any questions, you can DM me, you can DM, you know, anyone on, you know, OnePlanet Discord channel, or you can also DM to our official Twitter. We'll be happy to answer everything you're curious about. And, you know, please let us know if there's something more that we can do. So thank you, Jimmy. Thank you, Sean, for inviting me to your amazing show. And it would be an honor to be here again if you allow me to.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna say you might not need hope. All you need is OnePlanet. That's it.